Sean and Joe, another episode ready to go. They're gonna talk about the good and the trash and anything in between. Cherishing make-believe, get ready for Halloween. It's the horror show. I know you missed those guys. Tune in and find out what's on their list tonight. They butcher and dissect, take apart and mutilate. Listen to your two favorite brainiacs communicate. It's the horror show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Horror Show. Show dissects, mutilates, dismembers, and butchers all of your favorite and not so favorite horror movies and other horror-related events. I'm Sean.
I'm Joe.
Hello, Joe.
What's going on?
Nothing. So, boy, there's so much to catch up on, I feel like, when we skip a week, which we don't really skip a week. We just do the live show like a day early, but it always feels like we're skipping a week. But you we're skipping our bonus episode because your whole family got the vid.
Got the Rona.
The Joe vid.
Got the Rona.
Yeah. Everyone was very concerned.
Yeah, I'm bummed I had to miss that show, man. I'm good. My kids unfortunately got it the worst. Logan especially. Like, poor guy was out. He's finally back to himself. Shay was fucking hurting, and then Tina was like, it was like scary. It was on Mother's Day. It was like hit her at like noon, and she was just like immobile, bedridden. I'm like, what the fuck? How did this happen so fast? And then the next day, she was like pretty much. She wasn't better, like fully recovered, but she wasn't like she was the day before, so that was good. And then me, I don't know, fucking fine. I keep testing positive though. Everyone else is good. I'm still positive. So.
Yeah, man, this shit is fucking bizarre how this shit works, but I don't know. And me and James were sick all week. I've been sick for like 2 weeks now, and it fucking blows. And I tested negative 18 fucking times. It's unbelievable. Honestly, I was excited to get it so I could like bail on shit. I had so many plans I didn't want to do. Like, I was like, oh, yes, give me COVID. Nope, just a fucking cold. Well, I know I shouldn't say that, I guess. But anyway, whatever.
It's like, dude, I'm like way more tired than ever. So this is probably gonna be a little energy on my part. I'm not even gonna drink tonight, but people keep asking me, do you have any symptoms? I'm like, honestly, I don't fucking know if the crippling like tiredness that I feel is due to the fact that I've been running around, taking care of 2 sick kids and a wife for a week, or if it's like a side effect. But I'm fucking tired,
dude. And there's on top of it all, there's like this flu cold going around. By the way, this is sick talk with Joe and Sean this week. There's like a cold and flu going around too, like 2 different fucking things. Because a guy I worked with got COVID, and then like he felt better, and then like the next day he got hit with something else, and he was testing negative, and it was his doctor was like, I think you just got the flu immediately after COVID, which like what the fuck? So he was out for like 2 weeks. It was insane.
Yeah, dude, I feel like everybody's sick right now.
Yeah, dude. Oh, it's fucking disgusting. It's absolutely fucking repulsive. And you know what? It's just disgusting, dude. You go out and everyone's fucking coughing. I want to fucking stab everyone. It's fucking gross. It's absolutely gross.
How was that show? So let's big up some of our listeners. Toward the East Coast.
Let's do that. So Ballista, fans of the show, Zach and his girlfriend Val. Shout out to them. They've been listening to us fucking forever, man.
It's like what, 2015?
Yeah,
right?
It's crazy. So he's in this band Ballista. Check them out. And sick puppy Seth, our guy. He's in a band. Well, he's in like 18 bands, but he was touring with what is it? Gates to Hell, I think.
Gates to Hell. Yeah.
And they came up to Connecticut, so I popped in. Joe was going to, and then he got COVID. Actually, Joe was more gung-ho about it than I was, and then I ended up going. It was fucking weird, but anyway. So Joe couldn't go, but I met them, and they were super great. Love them. Love those guys. Those guys were little sweethearts. I don't think you're supposed to say that about these hardcore kids, but they were the nicest group of guys and gals I've ever met. And check out both those bands. And if you're a touring musician and or in a band and you need some musicians, look up Sick Puppy Seth. on Instagram, right? That's his IG.
That's his name. Yeah.
Sick Puppy Seth. He's a touring musician, and so he's in like 18 bands. He's out of Kentucky, so he's centralized. And shout that boy out, man. He does dude. He plays fucking guitar, and then he's like. For some reason, I thought he was the drummer, and it's probably because I saw him in one of the pictures of this tour beforehand. And then I see him, he's like, oh yeah, I'm the guitarist, but our drummer bailed, and now I'm drumming. And now I was like thinking...
Jack of all trades.
Dude, maybe I was thinking like, I was expecting some like, like, hardcore can have some like pretty basic drumming. You know what I mean? Like the punk drumming, just like basic shit. Dude, he comes out of the gate just like a fucking madman, like shit, like true metal drumming, like, and you were like, holy fuck, like,
yeah,
what?
I'm jealous, man.
How do you pick that shit up? Like, he's like, yeah, I just started doing it this tour. Everyone was like, yeah, no, that kid's like super talented, like.
Yeah, must be nice to have talent.
And he
decided to do something.
He was so fucking humble. Like he was so humble, and like, but every other musician that I talked to that was there was like, that dude is like unbelievable. Like, that guy knows his shit. So shout out to
some
them.
talented listeners, man.
I know, it's fucking crazy. It's actually weird. Like the only reason I'm shouting out Seth is because like we actually have people that listen to us that are like actual, like kind of musical celebrities. Like, you know what I mean? Like we have reach to people that need touring musicians. So it's like kind of cool to be able to do that. Like I told him I'd shout him out because I was like, for some reason we have talented listeners. I don't know what to say. Like they've got nothing to do, I guess. But shout out to them. Shout out to Ben Johnson, who I called a piece of shit a while back for his wedding.
For his wedding gift. Yeah.
He ended up sending us some vinyl, so I just want to say thanks to him. He sent us the Rawhead Rex vinyl and the House/House 2 vinyl records.
Rawhead Rex sitting in my dining room right now.
And I was nervous that I left it like face forward to the door in case like Shay saw it.
Oh no, it's my dining room. Are you kidding me?
So there's that. And then real quick too, let's shout out our fucking live show, our Tiptoes live show, and the crew that showed out for that. Shocked at the number of people that came to Tiptoes.
Yeah, fucking Tiptoes. I was nervous. I didn't know how this one would go. I was like, this is gonna be a disaster.
I thought it was a disaster.
A one and done thing.
I thought it was done, dude. A dramedy, like a fucking dramedy. That's the fucking craziest thing. But I had a blast. That was probably one of the more fun live shows for me.
Yeah. So I'm open to doing any kind of movie now.
In terms of content, like that was the craziest ending I think I've ever seen in a movie. Period.
A guy abandons his child, and his brother moves in with the wife.
Fucks his wife. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. And like the whole movie is not leading up to that. No. The movie is not leading up to that reveal in any way. Like, not on any planet where you like, I think there might be something going on here. I think this is what's going to happen. Just like a light switches and McConaughey's like, I fucking hate that baby. And you're like, what the fuck? And then he shows up and is like, I'm fucking out of here. And then the wife is like, the weirdest, that was the other weird part about that. The woman who's playing the wife, what's her name? I forget her name.
Kate
Beckinsale. She has this like tender moment with him as he's abandoning them. And she's like, I'm so happy for you. Like, it was the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my...
Movie's nuts. Yeah.
It was so weird. It was such a positive send-off for Matthew McConaughey, who literally like walked in and was like, I'm never coming back.
Piece of shit move. Yeah.
Just straight up tells him, I'm never coming back. So crazy. So Tiptoes was great. Appreciate that. We have our whole schedule lined up for the summer, which we can talk about later, but if we got time. But we got a movie to talk about here. Okay, so Reagan advertised these as Patreon picks, which is kind of true, kind of not. So people still ask if we still do Patreon picks. We don't officially, but I tell Patreon members or anyone, you can always send us a movie. Like, I don't care. Like, I keep track of them. But if you're a Patreon member and you send me it, I have a big spreadsheet, and I have all the old ones that we never did. And then if I get a good recommendation, I throw it on there. And maybe we'll get to it eventually. I just use it when we're having trouble thinking about a movie. So anyway, so these are Patreon picks, sort of. Like, they're just from this list that I have. But Dead Silence has been so highly requested for so long. I feel like it hits a year where it was just like, I feel like it's like one of those movies that was just accessible to like late high schoolers and like college. Like, we were kind of in the college frame for this.
Yeah. It was 2007. So
yeah,
my first senior year, as I love to say. But yeah, I remember it coming out, and I did see it because James Wan was a big name at that time.
Yeah,
like promising up and coming. Like Saw was such a huge hit. I was excited for it, and I remember thinking it was like an atmospheric, creepy movie. And like I still had that thought until today when I watched it, and I was like, why was I shocked that Malignant was the way that it was? This is the most Malignant-esque movie. Like, of course he made Malignant. It's fucking ridiculous.
He fucking loves cops. He fucking...
I don't know if he knows, like... the way that he has... It's always just Donnie Wahlberg, and it's just a guy in a trench coat. Digging, dude, fucking grave digging. Like, he's digging up corpses. Like, cops don't do that, you know? I don't know that he knows exactly what they do. Just has one guy that's like a Dick Tracy. It's always Donnie Wahlberg.
Bro, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard. That's exactly what this is. That's so crazy.
There's not even a police force.
No.
There is a huge murder that is being investigated. And it's only Donnie Wahlberg showing up at every place by himself, doing everything by himself.
Like, and it's always like a see, like type of fucking like crony cop. It's so fucking weird. Like a PI. Like, it's so crazy. And
he is way more like a PI, but
yeah,
he's not. He's the entire police force.
Dude,
Dude, him contaminating every piece of evidence, doing forensic research himself,
bro.
And doesn't he plays that same role in the Saw series?
The Saw series, the exact same.
I thought it was going to cross over. Like I was hoping, like I didn't pick up on it the first time I watched it, and that there was like it's his own universe, but it's not. It's just,
dude. I looked that up too. I looked that up because I was like, wait, because also he couldn't think of another name for a puppet. He just named it Billy, just like in Saw's puppet is Billy. Like, fucking guy, Lee Wanell, I love you, brother, but what the fuck you doing out here? Like fucking maniac. We're just naming dude, bring back Donnie Wahlberg and let's just name the puppet the same thing. And they kind of, I don't want to say they resemble each other because people will be like, no, they don't. But if you look up a side by side, because there's plenty of pictures that compare them, like they have like similar features. It's kind of weird. Like they have a very similar nose. It just... Billy in Jigsaw's is like much more exaggerated.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's fucking weird. So they were already done with Saws 1 through 3. Lee Wanell had written all of those. And then he writes Dead Silence. And then James Wan, he had just done, what did he do? He did Saw and Saw 2? Did he direct Saw 2 or no?
You know what? I didn't look up. When did Death Sentence come out? Because I remember that being around the same time.
Death Sentence. Yeah, I think he did. Death Sentence came out the same year as this, 2007. So I think he kind of bounced after Saw 1.
Yeah, he just did Saw.
Yeah, he just did Saw and then Dead Silence. And Lee Wanell like is pretty critical of this movie, which I kind of find a little bit odd, but he really didn't like it. And then afterwards was like, I'll never do a major studio movie again. Well, that lasted he did Doggy Heaven, a short in 2008, and then Insidious in 2010. So fucking take it.
Who, Lee or James?
Lee.
Lee did Insidious too?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, the guy's got like a talent, but like really when you look at them, they're all kind of the same. Like They're all very similar, and the scares are all very similar. But if it works, it works. I'm fine with it. I love Malignant. This was Malignant Junior, for sure.
I mean, this would be the senior, wouldn't
it? Oh yeah, you're right.
Chronologically speaking.
Chronologically, yes. But yeah, so Lee quickly went straight back to the studios, but that's fine. Good for him. Good for him. So yeah, super popular movie. It didn't do great in the theaters either, which I don't know. And he also claimed he claimed there were issues with the writing and like he wasn't in charge, and I don't know. What can you say? Fucking Lee.
I mean, the cast. We already talked about Donnie, which I had a problem with, but
that was
the main kid. He's who Jason Stackhouse in True Blood, but that's like all he is, right?
That's all. And I actually like that kid. Like, I actually think he's like funny as fuck. But like, where did he go? Huh?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't really have that much star power, in my opinion.
No, I mean I guess he didn't. Yeah. I guess you're right. It's like you're saying, like in this movie.
Yeah, in this movie.
Yeah, so is this before or after True Blood? This had to be during, right? Or maybe right before.
It'd be nice if we looked this stuff up. Let me see what
from 2008 to 2014. From 2008 to 2014.
Ah, so this is before. So
he parlayed this into a fucking role. The guy's Australian too, which is
he is, yeah.
Fucking.
And his face looks just like Haley Joel Osment in Sixth Sense. It's fucking weird.
Oh shit! I don't think I ever noticed that. I'm looking up his. He's like doing just like little shit here and there. Blinky Bill the movie. Okay. North.
Yeah. Weird. I thought it was odd to have him as the lead in this.
Wait, I don't remember him being on Eric Andre, so I'm gonna have to fucking dig that up. That sounds fucking incredible. Poor fucking guy getting terrorized by Eric Andre. So yeah, and then you have a few other people in here too. What's that character actor that did
Bob Gunton?
Yes. From Ace
greatest
Ventura.
Sequel of all time. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Most notable from Ace Ventura 2 as the guy that owns the like zoo park or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yes. Ace attaches a parachute to his car just so he could parasail behind it and then use a telescope to look to get his license plate number.
In the middle,
can we do Ace Ventura 2 for a live show? Absolutely.
In the middle of the montage is supposed to show Ace being like super slick and stealthy and not getting caught.
He's like swimming with hippopotamuses.
Right. Like hiding.
Berries with monkeys. Yeah.
And then he's just on a fucking giant fucking parachute. Dude, the drag that would cause the car, the driver would be like, what is fucking pulling us backwards? Like, this is so, like, the drag, dude, that car would fucking, oh my God.
Such a funny gag.
Dude, that movie is so fucking good beginning to end. It's actually,
I say it all the time. It's my top 5 comedies. I don't care what anybody says. Dude, you want to tell me? I know we're ranting, but lay off me. I've had a rough week.
Chicago.
You want to tell me that fucking Wes Anderson movies are funnier than Ace Ventura 2? There's no fucking way.
Absolutely
no fucking way.
Fucking not. Absolutely fucking not.
Unbelievable. People would make that claim.
Ace Ventura 2 is fucking dope. So you got Donnie Wahlberg, you got Bob Gunton, and you got Amber Valletta, who is a model. She looked super familiar, but then I could not pick her out of anything from her.
I don't know anything she. I think it was she looked like Mia Farrow in Rosemary's Baby. That's all I could think of.
Oh yeah. She was in What Lies Beneath, Hitch, Transporter 2, Gamer, The Spy Next Door. Wait, dude, is Gamer that fucking Gerard Butler?
Gerard Butler, yeah.
What a movie. Like, we just need to throw Gamer in it. That's what's hot now. But whatever. All right, you ready to talk about Dead Silence here?
I would love to.
Wait. What are your thoughts on Dead Silence? I mean, you're saying it's not as atmospheric as you once thought.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's, I don't know what I was thinking. Like, he has this distinct style, and at that time, it was like the style. You know, like that's what you wanted when going to the movies to see horror. it feels pretty dated for sure.
Yeah.
I don't to say what I think about it. I mean, it's stupid. It's beyond stupid. Like the tale, the poem that they recite doesn't even fucking rhyme. You can't even make it rhyme. At least put in the effort to have it like flow. But like some of the effects and the dummies, like we already mentioned Malignant. If you like Malignant, I think you'll like this.
Yeah.
I think honestly, even though I just watched it, I think if I watched it again, knowing what it really is and not what my memory of it was, I think I'd enjoy it a little bit more because it appears after watching this and Malignant, James Wan just wants to make fucking B movies. Like he's like, I have a lot of money, but I just want to make ridiculous B movies on a studio budget, and I kind of respect that.
Yeah, man. I mean, so I think a big thing was like people were like, it's not like they were like it's I think he got caught in like the Insidious. He does Insidious. He does The Conjuring. He does Insidious 2 and The Conjuring 2, right? And I feel like people were just like, because those have a different vibe, right? Less camp in it, like less campiness in it.
Yeah, way more.
Yeah. It's almost as if they just cut off the tail end of his normal movies, right? Like they if you take his like that formula, it's everything up to the insane reveal.
Yes.
Because I think you're right. I think he does have an atmospheric like presence, and it's always, but in his early stuff and Malignant, it's early on in the movie, and you're like, oh fuck, like what is this? This is fucking spooky. But then during this period, he was just like, oh, and by the way, she has a face on the back of her head, or like this fucking. I don't even want to say it because I want to save it till the end because I think it's the most insane ending I've ever seen. Like,
it is laugh out loud funny.
It's like
and the way that guy reacts. Saved all of his acting chops for that one scene.
Oh my god! And fucking, it's not good, but I really really fucking liked it. I had a really good time watching it. I didn't check
definitely
time once.
Like a group viewing movie.
Oh,
like
yeah.
if you were to have like a get together and have a bunch of people watching it, you're definitely gonna have fun.
I think and I think it'll probably. I feel like. This will be like in like a not like this coming generation of kids coming into horror and stuff. I feel like this might be their like insane fucking movie that they watch. Like I feel like they'll be like, get ready for this weird shit. Like this is so fucking bizarre. Like
you think they're gonna go to Dead Silence?
I think so. I think it would be like a lot like what's the one with like the mannequins and shit? We did it for the show.
Oh, Tourist Trap?
Yeah. Like, I feel like it falls into that. Like, I feel like in, like, 20 years, 25 years, like, Dead Silence is, like, the Tourist Trap, where you're like, wait till you see this shit. Like...
We'll get our boy Mike Brown on, so you can say it caused the generation of people to be scared of dummies.
I think it's got everything that you can watch it and be like, what the fuck? The kills are there, the insanity's there, fucking puppets. Makes no fucking sense. I love it.
It'll be cool when people like they deep dive into James Wan's filmography after seeing like Aquaman and Fast and Furious. And
oh
stuff.
man, like
what
think
else
about
did this
that.
guy do?
Like what else did this guy do? Boy, this guy makes a great action movie. Let me take a look at this Dead Silence. So Dead Silence kicks off in the 6th century, it was some text. Kicks off with some text. In the 6th century BC, it was believed that the spirits of the dead would speak through the stomach region of the living. Which, like, if you read that as a scientist, you're probably like, that was fucking diarrhea. That was fucking... ain't spirits, brother. That's
a great point. That's exactly what that was.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering... Why is my stomach gurgling and then fucking stuff explodes out of it?
Yeah, it's the fucking devil. What was that disease that was just like you diarrheaed yourself to death in the Oregon Trail? Fucking
dysentery.
Dysentery. That's all it was. Like they were like, the devil took his life after it spoke to him. Like, no, Just shit himself to death. Then it says, from the Latin venter for belly and loqui to speak, hence the word ventriloquist. I don't know if any of that's real, but maybe. Fucking maybe. So that's how we kick this off. We're hyped for a ventriloquist story, which really this isn't, but that's fine. We meet the young couple working on their apartment. Jamie, who is the guy from True Blood, and his girlfriend Lisa, I want to say.
Yes, his
wife Lisa. Working on their apartment, happy as hell. By the way, this movie just kicks off. By the way, this movie is fucking insane. This is actually the pace. This movie is absolutely insane. The opening scene, they're just fixing up the house. They get a box. The scariest looking package I've ever seen. There's no way I'd fucking open it. No address. It's fucking like leaking. Got stains all over it. They open it. It's the creepiest doll ever. Jamie's like, his eyes are very,
Goosebumps-esque Night of the Living Dummy.
Very, very. Looks a lot like Slappy. And Jamie's like, oh, his eyes are so real. They're not. They look like they're
looks exactly like a dummy.
It looks like puppet eyes as normal. But I did like the look of the doll. Doll was like kind of fucking creepy. I liked him. And his wife says, remember that poem we used to talk about when we were kids? And he's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. She then proceeds to say the most insane fucking poem of all time that no one would ever forget in their lives if that was sung to you as a child. Murdered by an old woman. It's like the most insane poem. It must have slipped my mind that we were reading a poem about something that happened not long before we were born.
Generations, like one generation.
Right. Oh, afraid I forgot that about our fucking haunted ass town, which
town that you grew up in. It names people that they know.
Yeah. So Jamie goes to get takeout, and we have this insane moment, and I actually really like this cool effect where the sound is almost sucked from the scene, and you can't hear anything. And I think that translates to the characters. I don't think the wife can hear. There's no sound in the room. The teapot stops whistling, and it doesn't stop whistling. It's just she can't hear it.
Can't hear it.
And it's cool because you see thunder and lightning in the window, and there's no sound. All you can really hear is her breath. She goes to look at the doll, who is doing Jamie's voice?
Correct.
Well, that's weird because I thought who it killed, it took its voice, but whatever, that's fine. Okay.
There's so many stipulations to this doll, just to jump ahead, because it needs you to scream before it can kill you.
Right.
Which because we meet that old guy, and he owns the doll. So he's the doll's caretaker, and he's never screamed in front of it, but then he does, right? It takes his tongue.
Yeah, well,
that's what it does. If you scream, it takes your tongue.
Yeah, because
scream, you're fine.
And here's the other thing: the doll. I thought the doll was actually going to have a face turn in this movie, which is weird to say, because it's not really the fucking doll. It's Mary Shaw.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Right.
The doll is not anything. The dolls don't matter, which was kind of weird because I don't know. She seems pretty capable when she's outside of the doll.
She also has a fucking army of dolls.
Absolute fucking 7,000.
Take over a country.
Billy's number 57, and that he was in the middle of the fucking wall later on. At the end of the movie, if number 57, there's got to be 300 in there. Fucking insane. But anyway, Billy the doll throws the sheet over her and just murders the shit out of her. Jamie returns home. Here's the tea kettle and all that. And then he calls out for Lisa, who's in here. Also, I don't think Billy does his voice. I think she just goes in there looking. because she had like set it up as a prank. But anyway, he calls out for Lisa, and he hears Lisa's voice, but he finds a puddle of blood. And then he hears her voice again saying he's got a surprise for her. He walks in, sees the sheet on the bed. He pulls the sheet, and the fucking corpse of Lisa's sitting there. And it's fucking nuts.
You think James liked that one scene in The Ring where the girl's in the closet and her mouth is like agape?
Oh, dude, like...
Because that is what he modeled every kill scene.
Every kill is that. So yeah, he was pretty pumped about it. Pretty pumped about it. But yeah, he like the mouth, like the jaw's kind of unhinged, and I don't even know what else happens. Oh, they take out the tongue. Which
tongue's gone.
You think they would explain, but I feel like they waited until like way later in the movie to like point that out. Like, hey, everyone's tongue's gone. Like, oh shit, that's seems fucking nuts.
Donnie brings it up about the wife.
Oh, he does. Oh, okay.
He does.
So that's it.
Because again, he doesn't know how police officers actually talk. Because he's like, "You told me you talked to her before." And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, our tongue was missing." Okay, that proves nothing.
Dude,
could have happened after a talk.
He gives Jamie like all of the information in the world, and also is just following him around, dude. Jamie just fucking leaves the state like multiple times, and like he's like, "On the loose, huh?" Like, what are you doing? Dude, and I was going to say this before because you mentioned him like tampering with evidence. The funniest part was when it happens, I mean, soon. Jamie takes the doll to his hometown, and Donnie confronts him grabs the doll and puts it on his hand and is doing a puppet act with it, being like, let's ask the doll what he thinks. I'm like, bro, what are you getting your fucking dirty old hands all over the fucking evidence? Like, what are you doing? This is so insane. Fucking doing a puppet show.
Everything. Yeah.
So yeah, cue Donnie Wahlberg. Donnie.
And in the scene where Donnie shows up, he's just like, here's what you should say to your lawyer. And just giving him fucking advice.
Dude, and Donnie accuses him of being the murderer, and yeah, I mean, Jamie's kind of fucked. Like, quite honestly, Donnie lays out a pretty like solid case, but also, just like we just said, all Jamie would have to do is go to the fucking lawyer and be like, by the way, this is what they're planning on doing. This is his plan. This is what they think I did, and you could just walk it backwards, reverse engineer your case against that. And
there's no lawyer present in this room, and Donnie has more than enough to hold this guy. And why is this guy free? To be honest with you,
that's what I'm saying. Like, his case is actually like he's like real talk. Like, Donnie lays it all out there, and it's like, you were the last one to see her. No one else did anything. Your prints are all over the fucking apartment. No forced entry, dude. He lists like 18 fucking things that would immediately get you locked up. And
his only defense, his only thing that he has to offer is like, hey, well, what about that puppet that showed up? And even Donnie's like, I don't give a fuck about that puppet that showed up. He's like, what are you trying to tell me? And then he immediately lets him go. He just lets him go free.
Dude, which is a fucking theme. Every time Donnie's like, fucking busted you leaving. And Jamie's like, oh yeah, whoops. And then just like walks out the door in front of him. And he's like, oh, hey, I don't want to have to chase you. Idiot, dude. Like, he for sure has like never met a police officer or like watched any police footage of any kind.
Procedural, yeah.
I fucking love it. Jamie, though, is convinced this doll has something to do with it. He rips apart the box. Dude, is there any way you would ever think it's the fucking doll?
Like in real life?
Yeah.
Me personally right now.
Yes.
No, not in a billion fucking years.
But it did show up mysteriously. I would think whoever left the box was responsible. Fugitive.
That's
a fugitive.
That is fair. That wasn't the question, though. The question was, would the doll, would I ever suspect the doll? And the answer is no. Of course you wouldn't.
And I definitely wouldn't do what Jamie does right now, which is like rip the velvet lining of the box apart, which for some reason underneath it had like the name and address of Mary Shaw. all identifying information underneath it in an advertisement for their show. But hey, you know, what can you do?
You gotta push the plot along.
You gotta fucking figure this out. You know, and hey, listen, you know what, Mr. James Wan, I'm fine with it. Fuck it. I don't need a scene of him going to the fucking library and looking up microfiche. You know, we've seen enough. Just fucking open the box and be like, huh?
It's so funny because like 4 years ago I would have been like, that's so lazy, but now I am 100% like, fucking thank you. Like, I don't care. We're watching a movie about a killer ventriloquist doll. Like, put her fucking social security number on the bottom of the doll's foot and have them identify it.
Oh man, so to Ravens Fall we go. That's their hometown. They were like, it won't be creepy enough, let's call it Ravens Fall. Not a fucking town in the United States of America named that. And it's a ghost town, man. Like, the town's fucking done, right? Like, everything's shut down. That's because everyone's dead. Fun fact. Which, again, like,
the ending, when you think about it, like, of course. Of fucking course this is the ending. Why did this guy not realize that?
Oh, my God. I love it. Oh, my God. I think it's so fucking perfect. So it's a ghost town, except for the one mansion. The fucking town is propped up by Jamie's dad, who has a mansion, but is in a wheelchair and appears not to work. A funeral home, which everyone's dead, so you don't need... His business is probably... Although he probably made a fortune.
True.
During the height of this. And then that's it. Right?
That's it.
There's no other buildings.
No, it is just the dad and his new lady.
Oh, yes. Ella, who we meet. I guess I'm your stepmom, Ella.
Yes.
Which, that's weird. And Ella's played by that Amber Valletta that we were talking about earlier before. And we learn they're all from Ravens Fall, including Jamie's now deceased wife. So they all grew up there, they met there, and then they left. Right, so, okay. And then the dad is played by Bob.
Which again makes him not being aware of that poem even more alarming.
Right. Dude, the town is fucking dead. Like,
fucking Ella immediately recites it. You just met Ella for the first time. He's like, hey, you ever hear of this? And she's like, oh, you mean... And then says it word for word.
And the entire town is fucking dead. Like, that's not even an exaggeration. Like, we learn the fucking puppets killed everyone in town. Oh, that fucking weird fucking riddle about puppets. The dad's played by Bob Gutton, which we mentioned before, and is a miserable prick, as always, in every movie he's in.
Great like that. Dude, the Shawshank Redemption as the warden.
Dude.
Classic.
And it's just because his resting face is just the big frown.
Dude, he looks like a ventriloquist. Though.
Dude, he does.
He has those marionette lines.
His headshot is crazy. It actually looks nuts if you look at it. That was cool. So anyway, he asks about a childhood poem about Mary Shaw, like you mentioned, but also the dad's like, I have no idea what you're fucking talking about. And then he's like, are you sure? And then the dad's like, okay, I do. I know fucking everything.
Denies it. And he's like, oh, by the way, everything that happened in this poem is our direct family, our direct bloodline.
He's your fucking uncle. Yeah. We go to the funeral parlor where, he's got to go bury his wife. So he's got to head over there. And he does believe the doll is responsible for this stuff, but for some reason keeps it propped up in his hotel room. Because that's cool. And as he falls asleep, the dummy turns off, does the sound thing. He's getting ready to attack. And Jamie wakes up and sees visions of Mary Shaw in his room, but he's able to escape somehow. I don't know how, because I guess you don't scream, right? That's the thing.
Yeah, she can only get you if you scream.
Okay.
She gets your voice. Which, like, why wouldn't she take the throat box? But
I know. Fucking Little Mermaid style.
The vocal cords, yeah.
The funeral home director gets the poor body of little Lisa, and he's looking at it and he's like, this can't be. Like, he's seen it before.
Yes.
Then he also goes to go find Marion, who I'm not sure if it's his wife or family member, who's in a crawl space with a stuffed crow, saying she won't find me in here. She is like, actually, she might be a genius character because she's kind of like a red herring. She's just constantly throwing out red herrings, but has no reason to. Like, there's like nothing about her is explained. Like, she has no connection to these things. She just like hears voices, and they might not even be the real voices.
She's just crazy, right?
Right. She might just be actually like a little off center. You know what I'm saying? But she's used as a red herring every fucking like 15 minutes. She'll pop up and be like, the doll, and you're like, whoa, what does she know? She doesn't know anything. Fucking
It says here she is Henry's wife, the funeral guy.
Henry's wife. Okay, well, Henry's a good guy. Hanging out in the crawl space. At the funeral, Jamie ends up walking into the woods. He finds a weird grave site where Marion like runs up to his face and is like, it's fucking Mary Shaw. Which it is. So that's cool.
Thanks, Marion.
Also, he gets the name of the puppet Billy because we learn that there's a puppet graveyard.
Of course there is. Why wouldn't you just light them on fire?
Joe, of course, you would fucking just smash it into a million pieces, which, fun fact, is all it takes to destroy the puppets, as we'll learn. They're not supernatural fucking puppets, guys. Like,
they're actual marionettes.
She's just shooting them with guns, and that's it. That puppet's off limits now. Like, that puppet's done.
Yeah.
Fucking
and lighting it on fire.
And lighting it on fire. Jamie brings Billy to that puppet graveyard, tries to rebury him in his grave. But as he leaves, there's puppet shadows running around his car, and a scene where Billy just like slowly raises up from like the window, which is fucking great. And also, hey, Jamie, why wouldn't you just drive the fuck away and never come back to Raven's Fall?
What? Great. I'm glad you brought that up, because what is his motivation here? Like, is he trying to solve his wife's murder?
Yes, that's what we're supposed to believe. Which, like, by the way, I mean, I guess you would have. I guess. Okay, so I guess what they're going with is he's either going to jail or he's got to figure this out. But that's crazy.
I mean, again, that's where he doesn't understand what the police do, because that would be their job.
That would be their job.
Dude, he takes that like rowboat into the cave here.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about? Because Donnie's like following him. He takes Sean, the rowboat from where it's docked to where the entrance to the cave is. You could fucking just walk through the water and go there. I've never seen a more useless mode of transportation than you getting down, and sitting into a rowboat, and then rowing two times, and then getting up and going into the cave.
And by the way, even if you chose to do that, it wouldn't be that difficult. And when Donnie Wahlberg steps into the rowboat, he's like, holy fucking shit. What the fuck? It's absolutely ridiculous. That guy hates working. Yeah,
he's the only fucking guy on the force. He's fucking exhausted. When he first brings Jamie in, he's like, he has a line that's like, do you know how many fucking murdered wives come to my office? Like, come across my desk every day?
Well,
what's going on, dude?
I mean, that's the other funny part is like, we're saying he's the cop, which if he was the cop in Raven's Fall, that would be one thing. But they're like in a big city. Like their apartment is like very like city. You see the food takeout place is like very New York City, like Chinese takeout. Like with,
I don't think you're allowed to just go to a different town and just start doing your own police.
No.
Like you have to like contact them and have them do it.
So no, as you mentioned, he is like full on Dick Tracy. Like it's always the fucking long jacket, the fucking mustache. Joe, there's 3 scenes of him shaving. It like, come on, what do
shaving, dude? That's right. He's shaving in that first scene that we meet him.
And then when he walks into Jamie's fucking hotel room, like 2 days later, he's like, and just starts shaving while he's talking. It's like the most old school like, dude, what are we doing? Like, that's so fucking nuts. Like an old Norm movie, like just fucking shaving and be like, oh yeah. You fucking wise guys, huh? It loves telling jokes to Jamie. And loves not arresting him. Dude, there's a point where he actually is ready to arrest him finally. And he's like, I don't want to arrest you in front of your parents. And Jamie just fucking leaves. In front of him. Like, he doesn't trick him. He pushes him and then fucking leaves.
Dude, he pushes him like 100 times too. And every time Donnie's like, don't make me add assaulting an officer to this.
Oh my God, I fucking love it. That's what I was going to say. Back at the hotel room, Jamie washes up and the cop is sitting there. Still shaving, same old shitty interrogation methods, using the puppet to talk to him. And again, he's like, you stay in this fucking room. And Jamie's like, okay. And then Jamie looks out the window and watches Donnie drive away and then just leaves. You better not fucking leave. He now goes to confront Marion about Mary Shaw. Like, honestly, okay. So I know it's fun. It was a fun watch, but like all it is, the whole movie is Jamie just going from character to character. And there's only 3 other characters. So it's just him visiting the same people over and over again. I think
that's why it's so fast paced, because it doesn't have to set up a lot. It's just him going one place to another and them just being like, here's Mary Shaw. And then a good part of it is showing the Mary Shaw origin story and then going back to Jamie trying to find out like where things are hidden.
Yeah. And this is where we get that flashback. He goes to confront Marion. And the funeral guy is like super concerned about everything because he was like, listen, the way your wife was killed is the way that fucking town was killed, basically. And he won't even say Mary Shaw's name. And we cut to the Mary Shaw story. Mary Shaw was the ventriloquist that lost her voice, which is a cool concept, but that's not what actually happened. They just fucking killed her. They fucking killed Mary Shaw.
It was a mob. Yeah. They killed her because she got heckled and didn't take kindly to it and then murdered a child.
So it was like almost the Freddy Krueger story, but like the thing is, she actually killed the fucking kid. So it's not like it's like I thought it's like a revenge, right? She's like, it's vengeance for the mob that killed me. But it wasn't an unjust murder.
It was completely justified.
Especially when we see what she did to the fucking kid later, which is like fucking insane.
Yes. And again, all the kid did was be like, I can see your lips move. Because she's doing a ventriloquist act. And she's like, what did you fucking say?
What the fuck did you just fucking say to me, you little piece of shit? Fucking idiot. And then like the fucking puppet's like, I'm gonna fucking kill this kid. That was her best part of her act, which I guess everyone did applaud her for. Anyway, so yeah, we go to the glory days of Raven's Fair where Mary Shaw performed her act. Like Joe said, the kid calls her out for her lips moving. She goes, the Billy the doll goes, I think we should show this boy just how real I am. Fucking Will Smith the doll.
He's not real.
He's going to keep Mary Shaw's name out of your mouth. Fucking go up and slap the fucking kid. Yeah. And the puppet and Mary Shaw are talking over each other. So I don't know. Fucking weird. And then that boy went missing 2 weeks later. He disappeared shortly after Mary was murdered by a crowd. And she demanded, which by the way, she fucking murdered a fucking kid. Why is anyone like listening to her fucking stupid fucking demands? But the funeral home guy, the mortician, is like, listen, she had some fucking requests and we had to honor them. including burying 100 puppets next to her in separate fucking graves. And
you were at the point where you're about to murder someone in a field. You're not going to go out of your way to get her $100 and bury them next to her. And best of all, making her into a mannequin.
He's like, listen, and her final request was a little weird. She wanted to be turned into a puppet. Bro, what are you talking about? Like, and the guy performed it.
Imagine, just like, that blows my mind. Like, you're at your wit's end to the point where you're going to take somebody else's life, and then you're like, well, they did ask if I could, turn him into a puppet. I guess I have to.
They really wanted it was her last wish.
Fair is fair,
And it's not even like just painted lines to turn her into a puppet. They like unhinged her mouth so it could like go up and down. Absolutely nuts. The young mortician snuck in. He sees Mary. And that was like the first time Mary like kind of like came back to life. And ever since she died at Raven's Fair, ever since she died, Raven's Fair has been plagued with death. People getting their tongues cut out and posed for family photos, which is also a new fact. That was not a thing until just now. Just to add to the creepiness, but I gotta tell you, man, those like photos and shit.
Those photos, they were good.
They're fucking terrifying, especially because it's full families, like man, wife, and child, like fucking a little wild. Anyway, so Jamie finds all this out, and he's like, "Yay, I gotta go find this Mary Shaw." So he goes to the theater where she also lived, just to make things easier for us. Meanwhile,
yeah, we said it before. Like, he packs no punch. Like, he makes it very easy for you to just understand what's happening.
There's nothing.
Could be lazy. I'm fine with it,
dude. Because he's like, "Where'd Mary Shaw live?" And he's like, "Actually, she also lived at the theater." Let's cut down. Let's reduce the number of locations. Jamie decides to go find it. Detective Wahlberg, though, meanwhile, is like, "I'm gonna go dig up every one of these fucking puppets for some reason." So Jamie goes to the old building. He finds cutouts of the old newspapers of missing kids. Suddenly stops. He sees Mrs. Shaw, who still ain't doing fucking much of anything.
No.
Meanwhile, Marion's at home talking to Billy, and the mortician's seen enough, so he's about to fucking, take Billy back, I guess? I don't know. But on his way out, he hears Marion crying in the crawl space, so he goes in, and he gets ventriloquized.
He does.
Mary Shaw pops out with Billy. Actually, it's just Mary Shaw. The Billy's not even fucking in there. So it's like, why is... Because when they destroy all the spoilers, when they destroy all the dolls, it's like, well, there goes Mary Shaw. But like, Mary Shaw is also just chilling wherever she feels like.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. And then we get the first time we like kind of like learn about the voice thing, because she says, "Your voice is mine now, Henry." So I thought like Billy would have a face turn and like, oh, maybe the puppet's actually trying to stop the murders.
Trying to get out, yeah.
Trying to stop Mary Shaw. So he's going where Mary Shaw, because Mary Shaw is chasing these people that are from the town. So Billy would have an understanding of that. And that, I thought that would have been fucking tight. But listen, anything for this ending. I don't care how it goes. Anyway, Jamie goes to confront his dad again.
Mr. fucking Mope.
The biggest fucking mope. And again is like, "Hey, tell me everything." And Dad's like, "Well, that's it. I don't know anything else." And Jamie's like, "Oh, yeah?" And he's like, "All right, fine. You got me." And yeah, and then we get the Freddy Krueger backstory, which we already kind of knew, but whatever. Anyway, Wahlberg shows up again. And every time he shows up, I honestly have already forgotten that he was in the movie, because he literally just shows up and is like, "Why I oughta," and then fucking we just continue on with the fucking movie.
Does nothing.
It does absolutely nothing. And this time he's on to Jamie and he's like, "The fucking dolls are all missing." But this is interrupted by a phone call, which, by the way, again, he's a police officer. He's in control of this situation. And the stepmom's like, you have a call. It's urgent. And Donnie Wahlberg's like, well, I can't prevent that. You got to take that, obviously. I would hate for you to miss this one call, so why don't you take this fucking call?
We need a Donnie spin-off series.
Yo, absolutely. The worst cop in the world, just
bumbling idiot.
Letting people take phone calls. Yo, dude, he's about to arrest them. And then the mom's like, phone.
Wait, have you watched Blue Bloods?
No.
He's a cop in that, right?
Oh shit, is he in that?
He's like the main star, isn't he?
On USA?
I don't know, channel. Tina would know. I'm sure she watches every episode.
Yeah, Donnie Wahlberg is the main character, and it appears to be a police officer. Oh my god, Joe, he looks exactly the same, except he's wearing a leather coat now. Fucking
he's just not wearing a trench coat.
It's absolutely outrageous that this guy is doing this.
I just want to give you a disclaimer. I'm like laughing internally. Like usually I feel like I'm more outgoing. I'm so tired. It like hurts to laugh. So I'm like inhaling my laughter.
No
so I
worries.
apologize if I seem off.
I think everyone will appreciate you doing this with the vid. So, we're doing our fucking damnedest. All right, guys. We got a humdinger schedule too. So anyway, Wahlberg lets him take the call. It's fucking Henry. Who's like, hey, can you meet me at the fucking theater? And Jamie's like, I gotta meet Henry. Fucking dumbest thing ever. And that's when Donnie's like, listen, it's time to end this. You're under arrest.
Wait. I'm sorry. Mary Shaw wants to kill him because as we just found out, he's a bloodline.
Yeah, I guess we didn't. I guess we didn't talk about that. So the mob that killed the kid, or the mob that killed Mary Shaw, she killed all of them, and now will kill anybody related to them and their bloodline.
Right. Which we know is Jamie. So why didn't she just do this in the beginning when she's already has Billy at their house, and she could have just used his wife's voice and be like, "Hey, come in this room," and then killed him.
It's tricky, Joe. These things take some time to.
I don't profess to understand Hollywood magic, so
these things take time. I don't know. You got to recharge your powers a little bit. You got to fucking, I don't know. They're ghosts. They're unpredictable.
I'll accept that explanation.
I mean,
Mary, least efficient worker ever.
I guess the thing is, like, he hasn't screamed, I guess, is like the only thing I could think of to defend that. But like, you didn't even try to scare him, right? Like, you didn't even.
Right. You have him.
Also, how did he not scream when he saw his fucking wife with her fucking jaw ripped open? There's no way you don't scream seeing that.
Right. At least a little yelp,
You'd open it. Is it that your mouth is open so she can access it, or is it like the act of scream? I don't know. Why am I thinking about this? Even James Wan would be like, are you fucking serious right now? Just fucking watch the fucking. I made this as simple as possible for you guys. Just fucking digest it and move on. Yeah. So Jamie is about to get arrested. Donnie's like, hey, I don't want to do this in front of your stepmom, so why don't you just come with me? And he's like, okay, and then just shoves him and runs away. And by the way, fucking Donnie walks up, like, dude, Jamie gets in his car. This is how, like, inefficient this is. Jamie is starting his car, and Donnie, like, walks up and touches the window and is like, come on, man, I don't want to chase you. I'm low on gas. In that time, he could have at least done something to get him out of the fucking car. He's so slow. And then Jamie just drives away, and Donnie's like, oh, gosh darn it. And, like, gets in his car and casually chases him. But Jamie has such a jump on him. It's so crazy. It makes no sense. But, Jamie somehow escapes, gets on a rowboat, goes to the island. Donnie follows suit, still being like, oh, God damn it. And somehow is able to catch up with him, and they become a team, like, instantly. Like,
in a corner, he's like, there's nothing in here. And then he hears, like, a whisper, and he's like, holy fucking shit. I got you got my lead. I got your 6.
I got your 6. We're gonna fucking kill this fucking ghost. It's so weird. It's so fucking bizarre. Anyway, and everything he sees, by the way, he's like, holy fucking shit. A whisper, a fucking wind breeze. He's like, dear fucking God. The puppets, he's like...
This is a guy that was in a fucking boy band.
By the way, he's also seen the puppet graveyard. And when they walk into the puppet room where all the puppets are in the cases, he's like, Jamie, what the fuck is this shit?
World's shittiest cop.
You literally dug up all of their fucking graves and were like, they're not here. That would be like, oh, that's where the fucking puppets were.
That's where they all went. That explains that.
And probably not Jamie. So that's like 2 cool things that I just found out. Instead, he asks Jamie what's going on. Oh, it's fucking amazing. They find all the dolls except Billy, and they find the missing dead boy, who is now a fucking doll, man. And gruesome. Also somehow still has skin on it. The kid fucking died 60 fucking years ago. It's out of control. Fucking outrageous. But suddenly we see all the dolls start turning their heads and eyes. And then we get confronted with the fucking most insane clown doll of all time. They're all like realistic people until this clown shows up. But it's Mary Shaw. Mary Shaw has taken the role of this clown. She says she was there to silence all those who silenced me. And she says something. She was like, they're like, why the boy? And she's like, it's so hard to construct the perfect doll. Creepy, right? And then scenes of Mary Shaw fucking hanging out with like the kid, like after she killed him and shit, like giving him tea. It was fucking weird, but and then the doll is like, hey Jamie, come closer and I'll whisper to you, which for some reason he fucking does. The most insane
last thing I would do.
This fucking vicious ghost that's killed an entire town is like, hey, can you just get a little closer to me?
Come a little closer.
Come a little closer to my 3-inch puppet hands. And he does, and then he gets licked, and he's like, whoa! And then Mary Shaw lifts up the doll, and her tongue, her big-ass venom tongue comes out. Yeah. And then we see Mary taking over all the dolls as Wahlberg starts shooting them. Like, Wahlberg shoots the doll, and then Mary, like, jumps into a different doll. So, it's saying Mary is controlling the dolls, which, again, doesn't, like, make a ton of sense, right? Like,
right.
Because she's also behind the doll and picks it up and is, like, putting her tongue...
There's really very little that makes sense throughout this whole thing.
Well, my favorite thing happens right now. Well, besides the ending. Donnie Wahlberg falls off the rafters and fucking dies in the most random anticlimactic death of all time.
Dude, they finally, after him following Jamie around, like you said, make him pair up. So you think they're going to be like a dynamic duo at the end, right? Falls to his death and dies. And then he screams while he's falling, which is a natural reaction. And then why does his corpse come back up into the, like, it's already through, right?
Right.
It fell, and then it rises back up. So we can just see that he has no tongue. It's like it's like those like weeble wobbles. So like go down and then it comes back up.
It makes no sense. But what's even better is then Jamie falls off the rafters because he gets spooked by Mary, who again isn't a doll. She's just Mary. He falls, but he falls through the floor and into water. So safe landing.
I think Donnie only died because he screamed while he was falling.
Oh, I see. This is so stupid.
So, like, why did he come back up? Because that's what I'm saying. It's so stupid. Like, he falls and he just pops back up just so we can see that he has no more tongue.
Which you could have just had him laying there with his fucking mouth open.
Of course you could. You could have just never seen him again. You'd be like, oh, that's that.
I love James Wan so much. Who's the bigger menace? Is it James or is it fucking Lee? Did Lee write *Malignant*? No, he didn't. So I think it might be James.
All right.
I don't know. He didn't write *Malignant*.
Let's just hold them both responsible.
Man, Saw just... And by the way, this movie is shot exactly like fucking Saw, dude. Yes, and the ending...
Sure is.
The ending has the Saw ending. Like the dun 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 dun. We're going to explain everything that just happened that you wasted an hour and 20 minutes watching.
I love it. Actually, I'm on your side. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, dude, it's so good. The end is so fucking insane. So he escapes... the water somehow, and discovers his dad is missing. So he heads over to Henry's house. Again, dude, just bouncing from the same 3 houses.
Same 3 locations.
Where he finds Marion, who I thought was dead, but isn't. But she's with dead Henry. And he's like, where's Billy? My dad would never be missing. Like, my dad's in a wheelchair. He can't go missing, which, that's the stretch. But Henry's gone, and she's like, I don't know. Henry tried to get rid of him. I don't know why that happens. But anyway, he heads back home to try and find this fucking puppet, probably assuming that the puppet's going after his dad because bloodline, right? Right. So Jamie is like looking for the puppet, and then he sees his dad sitting motionless in a wheelchair. Right? Yeah. And he like walks up to his dad, tries to touch him, and it's revealed. The dad falls forward. And it's revealed his back has been fucking hollowed out. And there's just like a fucking giant wood stick in there to turn him into a marionette.
Yes.
Now, was he just turned into a marionette?
No.
He was not. He's been a marionette since the moment we met him. And we get the Saw explanation for this. It's like goes all the way back to the beginning. The flashbacks to scenes we've seen, but they're like in a sepia tone and like with this menacing music behind it.
Like a different camera angle.
A different angle.
Just slightly, yes.
Just slightly askewed. So you see the fucking wife, Ella, the new stepmom, using the fucking stick to make him talk. And my favorite scene ever, just in case Jamie didn't buy it, she made it so if he could eat soup in front of Jamie, and the soup went down a tube and into a bowl in his body, like just like carved out, put a bowl in his body just so where the soup could go.
Imagine if you're a ghost and you have to go through that much effort to haunt people.
Bro, I'd be like, what is the point? What is even the point of being a ghost if I can't just scare
I'll just sit here for eternity, like, and do nothing. Having to come up with that intricate of a plan.
Joe, that is one of the most insane dude. Hey, listen, Jamie might buy it the first time, but if his dad doesn't eat, he'll never fucking believe. And by the way, every time Jamie sees his dad's like, will you please stay? And Jamie's like, I got fucking better shit to do. And like immediately leave.
Yeah, because Ella's always like, he's not like he used to.
Yeah. So he's a fucking marionette. He's been a marionette. And we cut to Ella using him as a puppet. And also her reflection in the mirror is Mary Shaw.
Yes.
And if you thought the other stuff was kind of like breezed over an explanation, the explanation for Ella being Mary Shaw is so like, essentially Ella was the perfect puppet that she made.
Right.
And then it cuts to a book that Jamie had seen where there's like plans in it, but all it has is just like a drawn picture of Ella's face on it. And it's like, what the fuck? It seems like she could have just taken the fucking... It seems a little odd to me.
Yes.
Doesn't add up. Also, Ella says, now who's the dummy?
Classic line.
And then it ends with, guess what? Mary Shaw eats fucking Jamie.
Yeah.
And then we see
Mary Shaw wins.
Mary Shaw wins.
Mary Shaw is a child killer. She's not the hero. You said it. Her death was completely justified. Mob violence is almost never the answer, except in the case of Mary Shaw.
Turning a fucking local kid into a fucking puppet. Like, come on. What the fuck? And again, for being like, hey, I see your mouth moving.
Dude, like any movie ever, whenever they have like a mob, it's always like unjust, like Frankenstein's monster, or like you said, Nightmare on Elm Street. This time is like the only movie that's been, that should have happened.
Because original Nightmare, I'm pretty sure it's like supposed to be. He really wasn't like it was like it wasn't him, right? Or like.
I actually don't remember. Maybe he was Diddler. Maybe he was.
I know in the remake they like went hard on that. They were like, this guy's got pictures to prove it.
Yeah.
You remember that movie?
Unfortunately. The fucking ballsack face.
Whose voice is worse, Christian Bale's in Batman or the guy from the fucking
Bad News Bears?
Bad News Bears doing
Probably Christian Bale's.
Yeah, of course, for sure. 100%. Christian Bale. And that's the end of the movie. We see the family portrait at the end of the whole family just fucking carved up, and that's it. Mary Shaw closes the family book. The family jewels.
Yeah.
So that's it, guys. Schedule coming up. We've got a summer schedule that you will not fucking believe, and I might regret talking about because who the fuck knows what's going to happen when we do these. Reagan was like, I don't think I'll post this just in case you guys change your mind.
You're learning, Reagan. You're learning.
As you do. And I was like, yeah, that's good. But I think we're going to stick to this. This is I'm
excited. Yeah.
This is hitters, man. This is hitters. I'm actually trying to find the email right now because I just realized I did not update it on my OneNote here. Old Reagan, where's Reagan? Guys, can we like keep the creepy messages to Reagan like to a minimum? Can I just mention that? All right, summer schedule. Okay, so we did Dead Silence, a big Patreon pick. Another big Patreon pick I'm really excited for. Doom Asylum.
I haven't seen that one.
I haven't seen it. It looks fucking nuts. It looks crazy as hell. I'm very excited. And then those were kind of fillers until our Romero month starts. We're going to start that May 31st. Why would we do June? Is that Night of the Living Dead's anniversary?
No, it's 5 years since he died.
Oh, 5 years since he died. Dude, I can't believe he lasted that long. I still think he died in like 2006. Hey, listen. Hey. I'm sorry. Serial Killer is back. I'm dreading doing this. I have like barely enough time to do anything, but I'm committing. I'm going to do it, including the intros and everything. It's back. George Romero's Serial Killer. And you know what, man? Joe nailed this one. Because I think Serial Killer, you have to have some type of arc with the content, right?
Yep.
Where it goes some type of turn to talk about it, or else it's just fucking talking about their movies. Romero has a weird filmography, and it's interesting where things fall and and what he ends up doing like later in his life. It's very odd. So you have Night of the Living Dead, Serial Killer Part 1 is going to be Night of the Living Dead, Hungry Wives, which has another name, I forget, like Sister Witches or something like that. The Crazies and Martin.
I'm excited for
that's a crazy.
I haven't seen The Crazies and Martin in forever.
Oh my god, same.
I never saw the second one. I just watched Night of the Living Dead, so that should be good.
Yeah, that's cake. The second week of Serial Killer, Dawn of the Dead, Night Riders, Day of the Dead, and Creep Show-ish. We're not really going to talk a lot about Creep Show because June 18th, our next live show, our live watch-along, is going to be Creepshow.
Yes.
Fun movie to watch with a group.
Yes.
I'm
excited for that.
Yeah. Before that,
dude, how do you follow up Dawn of the Dead, regarded as like one of the greatest like pinnacles in horror, and you make a Knight Riders?
So this is what's interesting about like his thing. It seems like, I don't want to say it seems like he didn't want to do those movies, but it seems like he would make this like zombie movie and everyone would be like, holy shit. And then he'd be like, yeah, you want to know what I'm going to do next? Hungry Wives. You want to know what I'm going to do next? Fucking Knight Riders. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I'm not saying the Crazies and Martin are bad, but I don't think, they're not in as high regard as Night of the Living Dead for sure. And from a political standpoint, definitely, I don't think they have anything that they're pointing out. And again, like, then he goes back to Dawn of the Dead and it's like a political statement. And it's like, oh, cool. And then he's like, by the way, I'm not done. Knight Riders.
3-hour fucking movie.
Yeah. So the movies I chose, I tried to choose ones that he wrote and directed. So Creepshow he did only directed, but that's why it's a live show too. Then the third week is Two Evil Eyes, essentially like the Grindhouse with Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez, and except he did it with motherfucking Dario Argento.
Yes.
So they each, I think it's an anthology, but I think they each only took one. I think it's just 2 stories. So that'll be cool. Then he goes The Darker Half and Bruiser. Then it's going to be our live show June 18th. Then June 28th, the final episode of Serial Killer, Land of the Dead, Diary of the Dead, and Survival of the Dead. His last
3.
He's just like, fuck it. I guess this is just what people want.
I'm excited to watch Land again, because when it came out in 2005, I think it was 2005.
A lot of hype.
So much hype. And like people were like, he's back, baby. And I remember liking it.
Yeah.
So, of course, I fully expecting to be like, what the fuck is wrong with me? But I'm excited to watch those 3 again.
Yeah, me too. That's going to be a great month. June is packed. Then July, all Jaws, baby.
All Jaws.
Jaws 2. What's that?
Has Paul answered us? Is he joining us for any of these?
I don't know, Joe. The guy is a fucking menace. He fucking actively ignores certain things and then like sends us 18 messages being like, the state of this world makes me sick.
That's an actual quote from today. Me and Sean trying to get a serious answer from fucking 3 weeks. He picks out one news article that we shared 12 hours prior. That's what he swoops in with.
So yeah, we're doing Jaws 2, Jaws 3D, and our live show July 23rd is gonna be Jaws: The Revenge. So pumped for that. I'm so excited for that. I'm not gonna say it's the best sequel, but it's the most fun sequel. It's so fun to watch. I'm super pumped. Then August, I kind of went a little because Joe didn't program August. He did the other 2 months, so I kind of took a swing at August. I did. I don't know why I did this. It's been on my like burner for so long, and I like want it so bad. I've wanted to do it for so long because just of what it is. John Carpenter's Vampires to kick off August.
I'm on board.
I was going with like a desert summer theme kind of thing. That's what I was trying to go. I feel like that takes place in the desert. I feel like the cover looks hot.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with it.
What's
the vampire movie with John Bon Jovi?
Oh, wait, what?
I feel like that one takes place in the desert.
John Carpenter's Vampires.
Is it okay?
Holy shit. Was not aware of that. I just got so fucking excited.
Wait, is that true? Is that true?
Yes. John Bon Jovi's like the main character in it.
No, okay. I was thinking of Vampires Los Muertos, which is a sequel to 1998's Vampires.
Oh wait, yeah, they did. They made. You're right. I'm sorry. They made it. They made that cover of that tricky. It looked like.
Wait, so John Bon Jovi's in Vampires?
No, he's not.
Okay,
he's in that second.
I was just having fucking meltdown. James Woods and who's the other guy in that? One of the fucking idiot Baldwin brothers.
Oh yeah, Danny Baldwin. And you know who else is in there? Our boy Mark Boone Jr.
Okay.
Love to see that guy work. So, but if the sequel's in the desert, I bet the first one is too.
That makes sense.
Other podcasts must fucking hate us because it's just like so little fucking effort is done. We just guess and hope. It's definitely in the desert. Okay, confirmed. Anyway, John Carpenter's Vampires, and then the fact that these two, actually all these movies have never been done on this show is kind of crazy. We're going to do Sleepaway Camp August 9th.
How have we not done that?
It's so fucking insane, dude. Sleepaway Camp 2, August 16th. Both of those are just like so heavily requested. And then August 23rd, I think we should take a look at The Evil Dead and The Evil Dead 2 and take a look at those together.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a weird pair, and I feel like it's worth talking about.
I love it. How have we not done that?
I could have bet $1 million.
What kind of a horror show is this?
Well, our last live show was Tiptoes, so... And then a little change of pace here for the live shows. We're going Savage Beach, baby.
Hell yeah.
I'm open to switching that, though.
Vampires Los Muertos?
No. Not for that. Just another Andy Sedaris. So if we find out that like Picasso Trigger is better, I'll switch it. I'm fine. They're all the same movie. It doesn't fucking matter.
It's just gonna be fucking boobs and explosions. So let's let it roll.
And the name Savage Beach, that's not the one we did, right?
I honestly
Well, we'll let our fans.
No, we did Guns, we did Malibu Express, we did Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
Oh, Okay. Hard Ticket to Hawaii. Okay, this is Savage Beach, guys. I'm ready for it. Are these like on a set yet? A Blu-ray set? Because that might be the only Bluray set.
Only Blu-rays you own? It's worth it.
I would buy them in a fucking second if it was a whole collection.
This guy is the greatest. What a fucking hero! Like, why is this guy not a hero to more people? Dude, he was like fucking 80 years old when he started doing this. And he's just like, you know what? I'm just gonna surround myself with nude women and blow things up.
And also, my wife is the executive producer on every movie.
Living the fucking dream.
Oh man. So that's it, man. We're booked through August. I'm excited. This is a fucking lineup. I'm telling you, this is fucking hitters. If we stick to this, we'll be fucking famous. Anyway, guys, that's all I've got. Joe, you got anything else?
No, sir.
All right, guys. Thank you all so much. Appreciate you all. Appreciate all of our Patreon donors. You guys are the fucking greatest. The support is overwhelming, and we love that. Facebook.com/IHateHorror, IHateHorror.com, Instagram.com/IHateHorror, and sometimes on Twitter at IHateHorrorShow. I fucking did it this week. Joe, where can they find you?
Instagram, Boognish1985.
And that's it, guys. Thank you all so much. And for Joe, this is Sean. Stay weird.
Thank you.
Adios.
I dissect. Movies all fucking day.
I wanna play.
I'm gonna watch what I'm not supposed to watch.
Dismember.
Fucking zombie getting sliced and diced.